Greetings, everyone, and welcome. July the 9th, 2025. And as you can see by the thumbnail and the title, I'm going to broach a subject tonight that people are viewing from different angles, whether it be from Ukraine, Russia, Europe, the United States. Is Russia collapsing? And if they are collapsing, how are they able to continue striking Ukraine so massively every day with these massive drone and missile strikes? By the way, huge drone strike tonight, and in fact, Russia was using Belarusian airspace, which is something Ukraine is paying attention to tonight, and we'll talk more about that later. I've worked in Ukraine for 28 years, on the front lines now, heading back. It'll be my 15th month helping on the front lines there, and so many friends of mine are soldiers and heroes, and I talk to them regularly, and so many of you viewers and subscribers, which we're thankful for, and thank you for growing with us, have asked, Greg, what is your real opinion? Where is Ukraine at? Where is Russia at? We don't want to hear just fluff, but how about a true viewpoint? So tonight, over the next 5 or 6 minutes, I'm going to give you my understanding of how I see things unfolding right now. Is Russia collapsing? What is the United States doing? How is Ukraine doing? And how is this Kremlin Playbook 101 unfolding? So let's jump straight in, and I very much look forward to your comments. What are your thoughts on this? We are, in my opinion, at a critical phase of the war. And why is this the most critical time? There are some bullet points I've put here just for you to ponder on. First of all, coming from the Trump administration, even before the inauguration, it was, I will end the war in 24 hours. And of course, comes out later that, oh, that's sarcasm. That was never meant to be. Now we're 6 months in, and you guys know as well as I know, we've heard 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. I'm upset. I'm mad. I'm calling Putin, all of this stuff. The bottom line is this: Trump pushed the narrative that he was able to end the war in Ukraine. Now that's the fact. Forget all of the other fluff. And that has not happened. In fact, the opposite has happened. The war has escalated. Now, July the 9th, 2025, which is today, Putin is still bombing at a much accelerated rate and now believes that time and terrain, meaning the frontline positions, are on his side, giving him more viability every day. Trump coming out with new statements. You know, he's very nice to us all the time, but it turns out to be meaningless. What is happening and what will be the fruit of it, we shall see. The realization is Putin's compliments aren't a peace plan. And he, Trump, is being played, and now he is starting to realize it. And that goes right into what we have stated so many times. The question is, at what level will he continue himself to allow this Putin manipulation to continue? And I do not know the answer to that, nor does anyone else. Let's continue. The Kremlin Playbook. Let me lay it out for you with just my understanding and experience here. Number one, stop. Do not stop. Putin sees no reason to stop nightly drone attacks, missile strikes, destruction of Ukraine, pushing the front lines as hard as he can, bringing in North Korean soldiers, bringing in Laotian engineers, now bringing in potentially a million citizens of India to work inside Russia so that his war machine can rage on. 30,000 new troops coming from Kim Jong-un in North Korea. Putin sees no reason to stop. Russian advances continue, and the Ukrainian lines are thinning. It's because it's a war of attrition, and Ukraine is having to rotate to defend their lines, of which they're doing heroically. But it's a challenge, especially down south in Pokrovsk and in Konstantinivka. Second part of the Kremlin Playbook: utilize the opponent. Trump's bluster, the way he communicates, the way he rages, the way he just spouts out facts that are not facts, doesn't translate to pressure for Vladimir Putin or to Sergei Lavrov or the Kremlin. There are no new sanctions. And yes, right now we have this Senate sanctions bill trying to be manipulated and worked on, and I don't mean manipulated there in a negative context, but adjusted. And we're seeing now that reality Trump will get behind it if he has full control of releasing the sanctions or pushing the sanctions. But the bottom line is there are no new sanctions right now. Just talk. And regardless of Donald Trump stating, yes, I'm going to send weapons to Ukraine, these are not new weapons supplies. There is no weapons surge. We're talking about, we've heard it could be 10 Patriot missiles with some other system. That won't last an hour. It's the reality of what Ukraine is facing. And Putin knows it. Number 3, increase demands. What we're seeing, NATO rollback. We saw the big love fest of NATO, calling Trump the daddy. We're all going to work together. How's that working out? Now we've had the meeting and it's continuing with the coalition of the willing. And I was so grateful for the statements of King Charles and President Macron. Today, Merz just pulling out all stops. Diplomacy is dead, he said there in Germany. The bottom line is Putin will increase demands. NATO rollback, more territories to be claimed. Right now, they are in the Dnepropetrovsk region, controlling the village of Dachny. They also are controlling a significant northern portion of Sumy. Those are in addition to the positions in Kharkiv region. And none of those 3 regions are on the books, the fake books that Russia has used to steal the territory of Kherson, Zaporizhia, Donetsk and Lugansk, and of course, Crimea. So it's just a push for more territory, a demilitarized Ukraine, language laws, no fault war, and there will be no reparations. This is what we're seeing pushed. It's the Kremlin's playbook. And number 4, the 3-point play. This is how Vladimir Putin does it. He smiles at Trump. He compliments Trump. He offers partnerships for the future and continues the war and assault against the West. And finally, as we conclude, and I'm looking forward to your comments on this, and I hope this has been informative for you because we need the truth so we can help Ukraine fight the best we can. When the world's most transactional leader, Donald J. Trump, faces someone who's not buying his deal, what happens? Putin just raises the price. This is how he works. First of all, number 1, bromance. The Trump-Putin bromance was always one-sided. Putin to Trump. Never. I'm sorry, Trump to Putin. Never Putin to Trump. Never. Number 2, Putin offers deals. Putin offers Trump business deals, minerals deals, flattery. I'll help you in the Middle East. This is what he does. Number 3, Trump offers relations. Trump offered public warmth, but withheld real concessions. Number 4, from everything that I've surmised with you over the last few minutes, in reality, we can assume behind closed doors, it's very possible that Trump is raging at Putin. But there has been no action. There's just been some of that rhetoric, which even today, the Kremlin and Peskov was saying, oh, that's just Trump talking. It's no big deal. We're peaceful. We're cool. No problem. He can talk all he wants. Finally, number 5, the Kremlin tactic. Kremlin now sees Trump's frustration as a part of the script, not a shift. Make sure you hear that part. The Kremlin now sees Trump's frustration as a part of the script, not a shift. Now, as I'm closing out here, where are we currently at? Air attacks, massive nightly drone attacks that are increasing in scale and scope. It's a fact. Number 2, NATO is frozen right now without direction. EU resolve is a challenge. Push of the coalition of the willing. That's where we're at. Number 3, the United States, at best, is a big question mark. Sanction talks on the table, but debate continues. Weapons, although are coming, are not massive in scope and scale. Putin, the Merz statement, diplomacy is dead, he sees it. USA instability, he sees it. And that's not only about Ukraine. We're talking about the Musk, the Epstein files, tariffs around the world, you name it. Putin's sitting back loving every bit of it. And therefore, Putin has no ceasefire on the horizon. And what he's pushing for is capitulation and not a peace. Ladies and gentlemen, you asked, so many of you asked, where do I really think we are? That's the Kremlin Playbook 101. Now, is Russia collapsing? Russia is struggling big time economically, but the military war machine rages on. That is why it's so easy to understand. Push, help, stand with Ukraine, defeat them militarily, and work on the inside for that Kremlin evil machine to collapse. This is where we're at. I hope this was informative for you. And for those of you that had asked the questions, there you now have the answer. Thank you guys for all that you do. This is what we're looking at today. Be blessed.